Hello everybody! It is Friday night, the moon is bright, the frogs are singing, and I'm gonna do a tag. So hi, my name is Talia. I love books, I love bandanas. I'm so glad you are on my channel today. It has been a little while since I did a tag, and this week actually I was tagged in the Extraordinarily Average Tag. And this is an original tag by David Wiley, and I was tagged read by Fred. So I'm gonna go ahead and do this tag today for you. So let's just jump right into it. Question number 1. Okay, the cats are here. They might have to go. You guys, this is your last chance to be good. Okay, so question number 1. What is a book that is viewed as average, but you felt it was extraordinary? So for this one, I picked Off the Planet. Oh, there went the other books. Off the Planet by Jerry M. Lininger. Now, this is a nonfiction, and I can't remember how I came upon this book. The cats are like leaping from thing to thing. You guys, knock it off. It's like you get the kids to bed. Like, it's Friday night, right? It's been a long week. The kids are all in soccer this season, so we're like just soccer every night all the time. I'm in the Pacific Northwest, so it never stops raining, and there's just like mud everywhere. Like, my house is mud, all the clothes are mud, the van is complete mud. Like, it's just been a week. But I want to film because it's been a while since I put out a video, and like, this is the time I can do it. The kids are in bed. All I have left, my only remaining obstacle to film, is the cats. So, but it's hot in here, and I have the window open, and I want like the cross breeze going through, so I don't want to close the door, so just pay no attention to the cats in the background. Okay, so starting again, a book that I think is extraordinary, that is seen as average. This book I just feel like is not really well known at all. I can't even remember where I came upon it. I think I was just looking up astronaut books because I think astronauts are amazing, and came upon this one. So Jerry Lininger was an astronaut aboard the space station Mir, which, if you are not familiar with the history of space stations, this space station was a space station before the International Space Station, and it was a Russian space station, but occasionally Americans got to go and like do a stint of time up there as well. So this kind of chronicles his just childhood, education, how he got to be an astronaut, and then he talks in detail about his time on this space station. And I just think it is so well written. This is one of my favorite nonfiction books, honestly. Like, he talks a lot about his training and just stuff I find personally fascinating, but also about like kind of the political climate between Russia and the US at this time. And I mean, the Russian astronauts weren't like mean to him or anything. Like, I think the astronauts he was with, he got along with well, but there was definitely some like tension between the US and Russia and the way they like operated, probably stemming from like the moon race and early space history. So it was just really interesting. And then there was like this great adventure side of this story because the space station was like not maintained very well and not very safe. And at one point there was like this big fire, and they were literally like, they're in space, their spaceship is like, their space station is on fire, and like afterwards they like didn't want bad publicity, so it was just kind of like brushed under the rug as like a little incident, but like they almost died up there. Like, it was bad. So yeah, I just feel like I love this book, and it's not well known, and it's just kind of everyone, I feel like, would be like, oh yeah, it would be an average book, but I loved it. So that's my pick for that one. Okay, let's see if I can get the rest of this stuff off the floor that I dropped. All right, question number 2. Who is an author who is viewed as average, but you feel is extraordinary? So this is interesting because this one took me a long time to think of. And what I ended up doing was going to my Goodreads and sorting by average rating and kind of looking at like the lower books. And I was pretty surprised that a lot of Michael Crichton's books are rated pretty averagely, particularly a few that I really, really like. So that's who I'm picking for this. I know Michael Crichton is not like, he's a very well-known author. Most people have heard of Jurassic Park and the Lost World. Like, those are his probably most famous books. But a lot of his work doesn't have a lot of reviews on Goodreads, like, 70, 80,000, which is not a huge amount compared to some Goodreads books. And a lot of them were like 3.5 to 3.7 ratings. So Michael Crichton has written some great books besides Jurassic Park and the Lost World. Some that I love. So A Case of Need. This is one of the first books he wrote when he was in medical school, and he wrote it as Jeffrey Hudson because it's about the topic of abortion, and that was it's still a very hot button topic in our country, but at that time it was just not something you talked about. And this is a great book. Like, this is really well written. And I think no matter where you fall on the abortion issue, like, this book kind of just makes you think. And makes you think like, oh, I haven't really thought about it this way before. And I feel like he just does a really good job of tackling polarizing topics in a way that makes you think deeper than just like screaming profanities across the aisle at each other. You know what I mean? So really good. Another kind of controversial topic book is next, and this one tackles like genetic research. And this book is the cats are back. There's this scientist, and he takes his DNA and like puts it together with like a monkey DNA, and then grows in the lab this child that is half monkey, half human. And it's been a long time since I read this one. I actually listened to this when I was commuting in LA. And okay, the cats have to go. They're like digging in the curtain like maniacs. Alrighty. Okay, I got one of them out. The other is still lurking around here somewhere, but usually once you separate them, they'll chill out a little bit. So let's try to proceed. So again, it was like a controversial topic, but one that I feel was handled so well and just made you see like all the different angles of the ramifications of genetic research and how it can go like very far in one direction, and just like the ramifications from that. And I remember it being funny. Yes, I was saying that I listened to it when I was commuting in LA, probably like 15 years ago. So it passed some time on the 210 freeway. And yeah, I loved it. So yeah, the fact that these books are like not rated very highly and are average kind of baffles me a little, because I think Michael Crichton is amazing. Another one that's really good is his memoir. So Travels by Michael Crichton. He just talks about his life and like going to medical school and then deciding to be a writer, and his travels that he has after he starts writing, and just like, he was kind of a little bit crazy, but like super, it's just super good, super well written. So yeah, Michael Crichton, extraordinary, not average. Okay, in case you were wondering, both cats are out of the room now. We should have no more interruptions unless a child wakes up. Knock on some wood, knock on some plastic. Okay, so question number 3. Who is a musician or band whose music is considered average but you feel was extraordinary? So you guys know what I'm gonna say, right? I thought for like 4 seconds about trying to pick a different band, but you know I'm gonna talk about Hanson, because any excuse to talk about Hanson, I'm gonna do it, and it's my channel, so I can. So let's talk about Hanson. So I feel like a lot of people think that Hanson is just bop. Like 1987, bop, they were just like, little boys, and they looked like girls, and just like bleh, you know what I mean? Like, so people think they just like were a one-hit wonder. But this is not true, because 25 years later, Hanson is still releasing albums and still doing world tours, and just making amazing music and being amazing people. And they're still growing strong. And you know that if you've been watching my channel, but this is my chance to remind you again that Hanson is amazing. And this is their most recent album. It's cracked right here, which makes me sad. But if you notice, let's take this out. If you noticed, I have it signed by all 3 of them because last summer when they came to the Pacific Northwest, I may have been a stalker. And that's a story for another day. But yes, Hanson is extraordinary. They always have been, always will be my favorite band until I die. Okay, I'm gonna tone down the crazy now. And talk about question number 4. What is a TV show or movie that is considered average but you feel was extraordinary? Okay, I actually don't know what the common consensus, like what the consensus is on this movie. And I want your opinions in the comments below on if you have seen this movie and if you love or hate it. But we have like a family disagreement about this movie because my dad and I love this movie. And we try to watch it whenever we're together. Like, we love it. And my mom is like, you guys, not again. You cannot watch this movie again. And the movie is The Truman Show, with Jim Carrey playing Truman. And I just love that movie so much. So if you aren't familiar, Truman is basically born in this like TV studio, and this TV studio is set up as like this giant bubble, and it's like a big set, but it's set up as like a world. So it's like his house, and there's his school, and there's like this cast of characters come in every day to play his mom or his dad or his teacher, but he thinks it's all real. And really, everywhere there's hidden cameras, and he is like being watched all the time, but he doesn't know. He thinks he's just living his life, and really like the whole world is watching him on TV grow up. Guys, I don't know why my dad and I love it so much, but we love it. We just think it's hilarious and so entertaining, and we just love that movie. So yeah, again, I don't know what the actual consensus is, but my mom would definitely disagree and say it's average. We think it's extraordinary. So let me know in the comments what you think about that one. Okay, what is a BookTube channel whose subscriber count is average but you feel is extraordinary? Okay, you guys, Book Buds. I talked about them recently on my channel, but they are hilarious. Like, stop what you're doing right now. If you are not subscribed to Book Buds, pause this video. I'm gonna put their information in my comments. Go subscribe to Book Buds. I'll put a link to a couple of videos too, because Book Buds is amazing. And what I love about them is they are so creative. Like, a lot of us, like me, you know, we just kind of sit here and we do the tags and we talk about the books we read and what we liked and didn't like. But like, Book Buds, they do skits about the books. They're super creative. They have costumes. They've been doing this like Pictionary game where they like take turns drawing for each other like the books they've read in the past 3 years. Like, they have like lists of what the other person has read, and they draw on like this little whiteboard and have each other guess like what they're drawing. It's so funny. Like, I literally will be laughing out loud. And some of the skits they've done, I like, especially the ones where I've read the book and I like understand, like the one for the Crawdad, where the Crawdad sings. Is that the name of that book? The Crawdad one. The video is so funny. I just love it so much. And I feel like their channel should be viral. Like, I feel like it should have 1 million viewers. I don't understand why it doesn't. So go support their channel right now. If you're still watching this and you haven't done it, go support their channel, okay? They're way more entertaining than me. Okay, moving along. What is a skill you're average at but you'd like to become extraordinary at? So I would like to be better at mixing drinks. It's funny because my husband and I, we try to have like one show that we watch occasionally together, just because we spend a lot of time just like, he's working, I'm with the kids, and then I'm doing my BookTube and reading thing, and he has other hobbies and stuff. So I'm trying to have like a show we watch together to spend time together. And what we're watching recently is I think it's called Top Shelf, and it's on Netflix, and it's like this competition where these super amazing bartenders make super creative drinks. And they're like chefs, basically. They're not just like me pouring my tequila in my triple sec and like, you know, stirring it with a spoon. Like, they're way more creative than that, and I just love it. I think it's so interesting what they can do and how they get all these flavors to combine. And when you go out and get a drink like that, it's like, you know, $15. And I don't even get to go out that much and do that. So I would like to improve my bartending skills at home and be able to make a little bit fancier drinks that taste good that I don't have to pay a whole bunch of money for. So yeah, life goals, I guess. I don't know. Okay. You find a time machine that will take you back in time for a day, but that day you select must be an average day. Where would you go and what would you do to make the day extraordinary? So I would go back to when the twins were like 6 months old. So if you don't know, I have twins. My twins were born when my daughter was 14 months old. And it was a super rough pregnancy. We'll just leave it at that. So we finally got them home. They were in NICU for quite a while. It was just very busy, very chaotic, very hard to have newborn twins and a baby. And I feel like that whole like 2-year span is kind of just like a blur. That I don't really remember. I definitely didn't enjoy. So if I could go back to an ordinary day, now I would just go back to when they were like 6 months old and they were just little and sweet, and I would just like snuggle them and love on them and enjoy the time with them and make just some extraordinary moments, because I regret not doing that and not being able to do that at that time. So that's my answer for that one. Okay, I like this one. You win a week vacation, but all the popular travel spots are booked out. Where would you go and what would you do to make your trip extraordinary? So I had to think and get creative on this one, because pretty much everywhere I want to go is somewhere I've heard of because it's somewhat popular. And one of the places I've wanted to go forever, like since I was young, is Australia. Like, I've just always been fascinated by it and always wanted to go check out Australia. But I can't technically pick Australia because I feel like that would be like, oh, I'm going to Australia, I'm going to Sydney, I'm going to the Great Barrier Reef. I feel like that would be like a popular travel spot. But Nicole's house from Dusty Book Sniffers is not a popular travel spot. So I could totally go just hang out with Nicole for a week. And yeah, I'm sure maybe in her free time she could like show me a thing or two about Australia. So that's what I would do. Surprise Nicole, I'm coming to visit. Okay. That's it. That's the last question. So this was a fun tag. I really like this one. Thanks, Fred, by the way, for the tag and just your kind words you said in your video. Like, that meant a lot for me. That brought joy to my day, so I really appreciate that. So now I'm gonna tag some extraordinary channels. So this tag has been around for a while. I did look, and I do not think these people have done this tag. If I misjudged or missed it, then I apologize. Have a nice day. So I am tagging Dia from Novel Idea, Jenny Chasteen, and Gemma from Gem of Books. These are all wonderful channels that I really enjoy watching, and I would love to hear your ladies' answers. Oh, Book Buds, you are tagged as well, and I did not check if you had done this or not, so if you did, sorry. Keep on keeping on. Okay, so that's all for today. I hope you're doing well wherever you are. I hope you take some time today to read a good book or two. And if you are having a bad hair day, just wear a bandana.